my bio. Good evening and welcome to the Rory Talks Football channel, your daily Arsenal news updates, debates and my opinions. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We're now heading for 4,300 subscribers. And yeah, if you enjoy the content, drop a like on it as well. It massively helps me out. We're going to talk in more depth about Mohamed Kudus today. Thomas Partey as well, who looks like he is now staying. Want to talk about Mikel Arteta, the midfield situation. He was asked about our midfield depth, what he plans to do with it, and I think it's quite interesting to talk about. Cedric Suarez, there are options for him to leave that don't involve, assassination, which is fantastic. Of course, we've got Guess the Gooner. And we'll also talk a little bit about the All-Stars, the MLS All-Stars, the game tonight, and also the weird situation around the whatever the skill thing was last night. That I didn't actually watch, to be honest. But it's good to see you, Leo the Gooner, Tom, AFC, Ross, William, Saliba, Sean, Carl. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. Nathan as well. I did make a video earlier. If you want to watch a shortened version of the Mohamed Kudus talk, the Thomas Partey talk, I uploaded like a 10-minute video earlier. So if that's more your cup of tea, then feel free to go and check that out instead. Cedric is leaving. We can hope. We can hope. There are options on the table for Cedric. Good evening, Kieran, as well. Benjamin, nice top. That one of the mystery ones. Yeah, this is one of the mystery tops. This is a Germany top. I thought I'd, do you know what? We stand in solidarity with Kai Havertz today, so I thought I'd put on the Germany shirt. I do like it though. I'm a big fan of this one. It was one of the better ones. No, I didn't plan Cedric's assassination. Absolutely not. No. I would never do that. But look, we'll talk about Mohamed Kudus. So this came out from Sammy Mockbell last night. It was after I'd gone off stream, annoyingly, so we didn't get to talk about it yesterday evening. But Sammy Mockbell said Arsenal are eyeing a move for Mohamed Kudus, but they need to sell players first. Arsenal are interested in Ajax's 40 million rated midfielder Mohamed Kudus, but are focusing on trimming Arteta's squad before adding to their £200 million recruitment spree. And the list of outgoings that he listed: Kieran Tierney, Cedric Suarez, Nicola Pepe, Albert Lokonga, Nuno Tavares, and Rob Holding. So interestingly, didn't mention Thomas Partey in that. Have you seen that bold ginger guy that tagged you on his video for United getting fined for FFP? Yeah, I have seen him. He's an interesting character, but to be fair, he does have autism. So I'm never going to kind of, I just let him make his videos because he makes a lot of videos in response to me. But I'll just let him be, I think. If Kudus signs, I think Flo and Eddie could leave, although it's likely only one leaves. Yeah, I think it's likely that only one of them leaves. And I think I'd say it's 90% Balogun leaves, 10% Nketiah leaves, I would suggest at this point. All that just for a pre-season game. Yeah, we'll talk about that. To be honest, it's mainly Chelsea fans. It's a bit odd. It is a bit odd. But on Kudus, right? We are talking about a serious player here. And if you were in the streams way back, I'm certain I mentioned him way before the transfer window had opened, and we were just throwing out names that I would have been interested in going into the summer. I'm certain Kudus was on the list of names that I mentioned at that point. And similarly to Yuri and Timber, I never really thought that we would go for it. So to have us now linked with him is absolutely sensational. The one reason I think this could get done, even if we don't sell Thomas Partey, is that if you're looking at around 40 million, I feel like Kudus is a player that you can bring in and he ticks two boxes. It adds to our midfield depth and it's the right wing solution. So it makes sense that if we're only looking at bringing in one more player, it would be him. And realistically for me, with the depth of the squad that we've already got, I'd rather spend 40 million on Kudus than say like 20 million on a midfielder and 20 million on a right winger, neither of whom are probably good enough to actually fill in when necessary. So I think that one signing that's a bit more expensive would be better. And if you're keeping Thomas Partey, then I think Kudus is the right fit as more of an attacking midfielder. Certainly as an 8 or a 10 rather than a 6. Rory, do you think we'll sign another defender if both Tierney and Holding go? No, I don't. If you look at our defensive depth, in fact, I think we could lose Tierney, Holding, Tavares, and Austin Trusty, and we still have enough depth in the defence. You've still got Ben White, Timber, Tomiyasu that can play at right back. You've got Saliba, Ben White, Timber, Tomiyasu that can play at right centre back. You've got Gabriel, Kivior, and Tomiyasu that can play as left centre back, and you've got Zinchenko, Kivior, and Tomiyasu that can play at left back. So you're 3 deep in every position. Wouldn't surprise me if all 4 of them went. I don't know. The only issue you'd have was if you had like 2 or 3. Sorry, and Cedric. Yeah, God. And Cedric goes, obviously. Jesus. Is Kudus the younger version of Trossard in terms of versatility? Slightly. I'd say Trossard's versatility is more across the front 3. I'm not a massive fan of seeing Trossard in that sort of left-sided 8 role. I don't think he's got the physicality to play it. So Kudus is more of an option that I don't think you'd ever really see him play off the left at all. But I think you'd see Kudus potentially as an 8, as a 10, even as the centre forward and off the right as well. So yeah, definitely. I mean, the versatility. We know Arteta is massively keen on versatility at this point. And if you think about it, Man City's squad is very similar. Man City have one of the smallest squads in the Premier League. The difference is all of them are elite and can play in usually more than one position. And I feel like that's what Arteta is ultimately working towards. You don't need tons of players for every position. You just need a lot of high-quality players that can play across more than one position. Ollie, good to see you in the chat as well. Barca want Miguel Aziz. Can we get a bundle in Cedric and get 10 to 15 million for the pair? I mean, you can just get 10 to 15 million for Aziz and give them Cedric on a free. That would work just as well for me. Would you take Mahrez? He's available for around 25 million. I think literally just before I went live, I think I saw a thing saying that Mahrez to... let me just check. But I think Mahrez to Saudi is basically done, I believe. Unless I'm mistaken. Did I have a... Hang on, boys. Hang on. Sorry, I'm mid... Okay, so... I didn't even tweet that I'm live. 2 seconds. I'm just tweeting that I'm live. Apologies. But yeah, I did see a thing that Mahrez to Saudi is basically done. So I don't think Mahrez to Arsenal is a possibility. And to be honest, I don't see us signing a Man City player for quite a while. I don't think it's something that Man City are going to let happen again. Yeah, Mahrez to... Well, someone said Al Ahly and someone said Al Hilal. It's one of them. Ornbom confirming Mahrez to Al Ahly. Yeah, Al Ahly. I really miss Xhaka already so much. I do need a PA. No, it was actually my fault. I just hadn't clicked the schedule button on the tweet. Because I'm a donkey. But look, so yeah, Mohamed Kudus, I see him playing as predominantly the left-sided 8 and off the right wing. So if Saka can't play, Kudus can play off the right, and then you've got multiple options that can play as the left-sided 8 anyway. But also you can see him playing there. And I think he's perfect for it. I really do think he's perfect for it. He's strong, he's quick, he's intelligent. You know, certain players, you just watch them. Watch them play for a couple of minutes. Even when they're out of possession, just look at where their head moves when they're waiting to receive the ball. Kudus is one of those players. He knows exactly where everyone is when he gets the ball, and he turns out of trouble really well. So I am very excited about the prospect of signing Kudus. The only thing is we have to get some outgoings gone. Yeah, Sunix, we are linked with him. And the link came from Sami Mokbel, who is obviously tier 1, who's been really, really good this summer particularly. And then Team News and Ticks kind of confirmed that we're in for him as well. Starting 11 prediction for tomorrow's game. I will do that. I will do that at some point. Because I think that's quite interesting. So then on to Thomas Partey. This came from a guy called Fentuo this morning. To be honest, I've never really seen him much before, but apparently he's good with Ghanaian football. And he said Thomas Partey has joined the Arsenal team in the US for pre-season. He didn't initially fly out with the team when they left on Sunday. It is understood Arsenal are no longer keen to offload the Ghanaian. And I also then saw from The Athletic confirmation that Thomas Partey is in the US. And yeah, we no longer want to get rid of him. Now, we can discuss the reasons behind why we no longer want to get rid of him. Was it to do with a potential court case? Yeah, Smith Rowe is in the US as well now. Tyrell, good to see you. How's the broken rib? It's genuinely, it's causing me significant issues. I don't know if it's broken. I think it might just be cracked, but it is problematic. Why didn't he fly on Sunday? So this is the thing, right? This is the thing. With Thomas Partey, he's not trained in the last week. He didn't fly with the squad on Sunday, but he's flown out now. Now, obviously, with Smith Rowe, we know the reason was that he was having a bit of a break after the Euros. With Thomas Partey, there's a lot of speculation around the reasons why. Supposedly, there was a court date yesterday. Yeah, I don't know. There's reason to believe that perhaps the reason we're now no longer keen on letting him go is that that court date went well. But I guess we'll wait for news on that. But really, it doesn't matter what the reason is. The fact is, Arsenal no longer want to let Thomas Partey go, and I think that is very good for our midfield. Because I think if you let Thomas Partey go on top of Granit Xhaka, you don't necessarily go into next season with a stronger and a stronger depth of midfield that we had last season. Whereas with Partey and Declan Rice and Jorginho and potentially someone like Kudus coming in as more of the 8, I think we're in a really, really strong position. Did you see Mendy's coming back? Yeah, Mendy signed for Lorient in France today. From a football perspective, Partey staying is massive for us. Yeah, exactly. Is Lavia still a possibility? Haven't heard much on him for a while. Well, that's the thing. I haven't heard much either, so I'm not sure that it is a possibility anymore. If you're watching on TikTok, you want to get involved in the YouTube chat, the link is in my bio to that. Do you think Arsenal should have signed Messi after he left Barca on a free? No, I don't think we had the sort of wages that he's on. We've never been able to do that, and I don't think it would have been good for the future of the club. On to Cedric, one of the outgoings that is almost certain to happen. This was good news, came from Ben Jacobs this afternoon, who is Tier 1. Understand there is some interest in Arsenal Cedric Suarez, although no bids have been made yet. His representatives have held informal discussions with Villarreal, Benfica, Porto and Sporting. A handful of Premier League clubs have also inquired. Cedric is open to offers. The 31-year-old's made 150 Premier League appearances and is in the final year of his contract. Now, it makes sense for him to go to Benfica or Sporting or Porto. You know, the move back to Portugal does make sense. The only thing really is if we can come to an agreement with a club to take him off our hands. It might even get to the point where we make a deal where not only do we let him go for free, but we also contribute to some of his wages for the first year. Because he's on good wages. He's on wages that, you know, he'll be lucky to get half of what he's on now at any other club. So that's why it's so difficult to get rid of him. But if we can offload him, and look, Portugal makes sense. Seeing that Premier League clubs are interested, I cannot see. There's not a single Premier League team that I think adding Cedric at right back improves them. He went on loan to Fulham and he got nowhere near the starting lineup for most of the time that he was there. So, and that says it all in itself as to why we don't need him. If you're not getting, you know, a sniff at flipping Fulham, there is no game where you are good enough to fill in at Arsenal. Arteta and Edu gave Cedric stupid wages. Yeah. It was, that was the very first window that Arteta had. Rory, do you think we could win a UCL in the next 5 years? I do. There's no reason, the state of the club and the health of the club at the moment, there's no reason we shouldn't be able to win the Champions League in the next 5 years. I do believe that. I think Kudus could be our version of Bernardo Silva. Not saying he's anywhere near as good as him yet, but he can play well right wing and midfield. Yeah, I see what you're saying in terms of that ability. And like I said, that is the model. I think the Man City model is that. It's bringing in players that can play in multiple positions, and then you don't need as many players. And if you don't need as many players, you can afford to spend a bit more money on the players that you do have. Trusty to Ipswich, possibly. Possibly. I've not seen much about that. Is that a loan or a permanent deal? Because I feel like Trusty's getting to the age now where we probably need to let him go permanently. The high wages were a result of Cedric being a free transfer. Yeah, it's always part of it, yeah. Arteta swearing is so cringe and funny at the same time. Do you think Raul Sanllehi should come back? No, I don't. And then I wanted to talk about the general midfield situation, right? So Arteta was in like an interview thing this afternoon, and he was asked about Arsenal's midfield depth. And he said that, like, in the holding midfield position, we've got Rice, Partey, and Jorginho, and all three of them are excellent players. And he said, you know, not necessarily to expect to see what we saw from Arsenal's midfield last year, because he wants to be able to play all three of them. Now, I physically cannot think of a lineup where you could play Jorginho, Partey, and Declan Rice. I'm struggling. I'm struggling to see how you could fit all three of them, but it does make me think that we will see a lot of Partey and Declan Rice next season, both playing at the same time. And right now, look, as much as I do think Havertz will come good under Arteta, I think right now our best midfield is Partey at 6, Rice as the left 8, and Martin Ødegaard in his normal position. And that, for me, Partey, Rice and Ødegaard is... It's on a par with Man City's midfield. Like, we are at that point, we are competing with Man City in terms of the best midfield in the league. That's an unbelievable midfield. If you've got Partey playing at his best, and then you've got Declan Rice enforcing in the opposition half, and then you've got Ødegaard, that's an unbelievable midfield. Genuinely unbelievable midfield. Still doing a watch along since the game is at 1:30. I'm yet to decide. Rice 6. But the thing is, if you're saying Rice is the 6 and we're only playing 1-6, then that would mean Partey and Jorginho would both be on the bench every game. And Arteta came out today and said that he wants to be able to play all of them because they're all elite holding midfielders. So I think we'll see a lot of Partey and Rice. And of the two of them, Rice would surely have to be the more attacking option. Partey, Rice, Ødegaard for the big games, and Havertz, Ødegaard, Rice for games where we're dominating. Yeah, I agree. That's exactly what I think. Partey 8? No. Rice is far better suited to the 8 than Thomas Partey for me. Why are you not in America for the game? I don't have the capacity. I don't have the money. I don't have anything. Thoughts on the Cronkies? Look, the Cronkies still have a lot to do. They're doing well at the moment. I'm very happy with the investment that they're providing the club. I think the relationship that we now have with Josh Kroenke is very good. But we can't forget what they did. We can't forget that they tried to put us into the Super League without asking any of us. So they've still got a long way to go in terms of making up for that. But we're on a good track with them. Balogun hat-trick incoming. Do you know what? I'd love to see a Havertz goal tonight just to silence those Chelsea fans that are being so weird. I would love to see that. Kudus is technically strong and pacey. Yeah, he is. Balogun and Nketiah, who are you selling? See, I'd still just about sell... Well, I'd probably sell Nketiah. In terms of purely footballing ability, I'd sell Nketiah. But if a good 50 million bid comes in for Balogun, I'd let Balogun go. Partey must have been proven innocent. Not necessarily. But there may not be enough evidence to prove him guilty, which is a different thing. Who knows? You just never know. Szoboszlai debut in 10 minutes. Good for him. Those judging Havertz on some skill, yeah. Yeah, the whole Havertz thing. If you didn't see it last night, Arsenal took part in a this MLS All-Stars skills competition game thing where there was a bunch of, fun. It was meant to be fun skill games that you'd sort of see on FIFA or on YouTube or whatever. And Havertz actually did really well in the touch challenge. Havertz ended up winning the challenge for Arsenal with a really, really high score. I think he was just short of the highest ever score they've had for it. And then he had he didn't do well in the cross and volley challenge and didn't score a goal, but the reaction to it, like you'd think he'd just, bottled 3 1-on-1s in a Champions League final or something, like absolute bizarre reaction to it. And I feel sorry for these Chelsea fans, to be honest, because I never see them talking about their own players. All I see them talking about today is Havertz and Mason Mount, players that have left their club and joined bigger rival clubs and have kind of moved on to have a better life. And they seem really upset and salty about it. It's kind of like the guy who got dumped and then pretends that he never wanted the relationship anyway, and then goes off, criticising the woman that left him and moved on to a better man. But, it is what it is. With all the hate for Havertz's skill challenge, did we all forget the Vinny Jr. at Madrid unveiling where he couldn't do more than 4 kick-ups, and look at him now? Exactly. The whole thing's just embarrassing for the people involved. They're staying awake to watch some Arsenal versus MLS skill games. Well, this is the thing. Even I wasn't up to watch that game. And yet these guys are up there making compilations. Oh, God, look at me. Look how bad he is. Based on the current squad, who's your ideal starting lineup for next season? So this is the interesting thing, right? At the start of last season, I had a guaranteed starting lineup where I was like, this is our best starting lineup, comfortable. This season, obviously Ramsdale in goal. I think at the start of the season, Ben White at right back. Obviously Saliba and Gabriel and Zinchenko. I'd then have Partey, Declan Rice and Ødegaard. And then Saka, Jesus and Martinelli. So the actual only change from that kind of best 11 we had last season would right now be Declan Rice in for Granit Xhaka. And undoubtedly that is an upgrade. But I just love the fact that we've now got so much depth and versatility to that starting 11. So you can try Timber at right back. You can try Havertz as the left centre mid. So it's good. Trusty to Ipswich, 3 mil up front plus add-ons. Yeah, that seems like relatively reasonable. That'd be a good signing. Trusty would be a great signing for Ipswich for that sort of money as well. That'd be good for them. Chelsea fans seem to forget who scored the winning goal in the UCL. They do. When it's too miserable to watch your own team play, it's just easier to watch the better teams in the world. That's the thing. El Nenny's not good enough. Yeah, I'd move El Nenny on. Why El Nenny is still kept at the club, since he should be sold this summer with the rest? I don't know. I would sell El Nenny, personally. You know what? I could see Kivior or Benny Blanco at CDM, like John Stones. Yeah, well, we saw Kivior doing it. In the game against Nürnberg. Kivior was obviously the starting left back. He was doing it more in the way that Zinchenko did it. But yeah, I can see Kivior doing it. El Nenny is a vibe. Look, El Nenny is a great guy. El Nenny is a great guy, has been a great servant to the club, always puts in 100%. It seems like he's a really good guy to have around the camp. But ultimately, we've got plenty of those sorts of people now anyway. I just don't think we need El Nenny. There's no game this season where I'd say bring in El Nenny. It just is what it is. El Nenny's a dressing room player meant for motivation. I agree, but we don't need them anymore. In the same way that we don't need Rob Holding anymore. We've got so many good characters that are also good enough to start. Declan Rice, great character. Players like Gabriel, Ødegaard, Saka, Zinchenko. There are so many of them. We no longer need these players that hold the dressing room together if they're not good enough to actually play, basically. How much is El Nenny worth? Naffle, mate. Couple of million. I'd see him going to like Fenerbahce or someone like that. How much are we looking at for Kudus and where does he fit? So we're looking at about 40 million for him, and he can literally play. He can play as the left-sided 8. He can play as a 10. He plays as centre forward. But I think the two primary positions we'd see him play would be off the right wing and as the left centre mid. We do have 200 people watching at the moment, which is absolutely unbelievable for this channel. I can't thank you enough. We continue to grow. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. Massively helps me out. But you're all absolute heroes. What will happen with Tierney since Zinni and Kivior are ahead of him at left back? Well, this is why, and to be fair, Sammy Mockbell said earlier he had Tierney on his list of players that could be outgoing this summer. And I just see it because, like you said, Zinni and Kivior, I think, are ahead of him in the pecking order at left back, and potentially even Tomiyasu for what we want. So, and Kieran Tierney is way too good to be a third choice left back at Arsenal. It's just the fact that the style that we have has moved on from needing Kieran Tierney. He could go and start as the starting left back for probably 12 or 13 Premier League teams. So I think it's, I would let him go. I think it's better for his career. Obviously, we could do with the money if the right offer came in. So Tierney off, use the money to buy Kudus. Well, yeah. We have to get 60 mil for KT at least. You get 30 mil for KT. You won't get more than that, unfortunately. When are Chelsea going to get a ban? Didn't they breach FFP? Well, apparently not, no. According to UEFA, they stayed within the guidelines. Do you want David Dein and Gazidis back? No. I'm very, very... Arsenal's current setup, right the way from the top down, is very, very good at the moment. Look at the business that we're doing. I would make no changes, pretty much, to the current structure at the club. Arteta has a massive say and a massive impact, which I think is really good. The relationship that Edu and Arteta have together is fantastic for identifying players and going out and getting them. And then I think the likes of Tim Lewis are really coming into their own in terms of negotiating for players. Richard Garlick as well. So I really do think we're in a good position. You look at the contracts that we've signed, signing players to new contracts, going out and getting deals done. I'm very happy with where we're at the moment. Rory, Bayern 27 goals in a pre-season game. Yeah, do you know what, right? That Bayern Munich scoring 27 goals, I think that's embarrassing. I genuinely do. If you're in a competition, like you're in a competitive game and you do it, fair play. But when you're clearly against a team like that is far, far worse than you, multiple divisions below you, what's the point in doing that? Like, no one has benefited from that game. Because the team that, I can't remember the name of the team that they beat 27-0, but they've not benefited whatsoever from that game. Bayern haven't really benefited from it either, and it's just an embarrassment. And now I just think other teams in the future will, with the potential friendly with Bayern, they'll just say no, because it's your dickheads, basically. Yeah, I want Gazidis back the same way I want Zaha instead of Saka. Yeah, literally. 8 divisions below them. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, it's like playing squad battles on beginner mode on FIFA and then bragging to your mates that you're good at it. It's like, well, you're not. Hi, Rory. Thoughts on Colwill as an Arsenal fan? Think he's got a big future? Yeah, Levi Colwill's got a very, very big future. I think he has to stay at Chelsea now, so... are you doing a watch along later? Maybe. I might. I probably will. It might not be. It won't be in this setup though. It'll probably be on my phone in the living room. Because yeah, my girlfriend does have a normal job and could probably do without me being sat here, screaming at Arteta for bringing on Rob Holding. I probably will go live though. Why not? Anyway, it is time for Guess the Gouda, the game where I give you an ex or current Arsenal player's career path, minus the Arsenal part of it, and you have to guess who that player is. The first person to guess it correctly in the YouTube chat gets the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community and the wider Arsenal community. If you're watching on TikTok and you want to get involved, the link is in my bio. Head over to the YouTube chat and get involved. You'll probably see me later, Miles, yeah. Get your fingers ready. Get your hands on your keyboards. Get ready for it. Today's Guess the Gooner went on loan to Birmingham City. They went on loan to Hanover. They went on loan to Hamburg. They then moved permanently to Hamburg. They then went to Antalyaspor. They went to Spal, S-P-A-L. They went to FC Sion. They went to Neuchâtel Xamax. And they went to Norddeutschland. So there you go. Birmingham on loan, Hanover on loan, Hamburg on loan, Hamburg permanently, Antalyaspor, Spal, Sion, Neuchâtel Xamax, and Norddeutschland. Has anyone got it? It's a trickier one today. It is a trickier one. No one's got it so far. It's not Nelson, it's not Socrates, it's not Bentner, it's not Kanu, not Miachi, not Song. There we go, we've had a winner. We have had a winner. We've had a winner. Did many people get it afterwards? We've had a couple of people get it, but the first person to get it was Lee Plays. It was indeed Johan Juru. It was Johan Juru. That was a harder one. That was a harder one today. Congratulations to Lee Plays for getting it first. Who was second? Second was Nizar. And then, was there anyone else? No, lots of people saying Rio Miachi, Asano, Lichtsteiner, but not many people got it at all. I think Josh was third, but by that point I'd already said. So fair play to Lee Plays. He is the winner of a very difficult Guess the Gooner today. Rory, you missed a £35 donation. Oh wow, Ayagumede, thank you very much. 35 Zar. Dude, you're going to be big in this space. It's only a matter of time. Thank you very much. That is greatly appreciated. And thank you for whoever told me I missed that. Because I did indeed miss it. What a legend. What an absolute legend that is. Thank you very much. Maitland Niles? No, it was Juru. It was Juru. Johan Juru. You are, to be fair, Nizar, I do recognise your name as a name that I call out as like second, third, fourth or fifth quite a lot. Close, but no cigar. Anyway, moving on to the Guess the Non-Gooner. This is a player who does not and has not played for Arsenal. I'll give you their full career path and you have to guess who it is. And if you guess it correctly, you get a good level of respect among your peers. So this Guess the Non-Gooner started their career at Nacional. They went to FC Groningen. They went to Ajax. They went to Liverpool, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Nacional, and then Gremio. So Nacional, FC Groningen, Ajax, Liverpool, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Nacional, Gremio. It is an easy one. I'm expecting lots of people to get it quite quickly. And the first person to get it on my screen was Deadpool. It is indeed Chewy Suarez. VV Vlad was second, Alex Rivera third, Lawrence fourth, and Luke Arundel was fifth. Congratulations to Deadpool. A very easy one today for Mr. Chewy Suarez, who of course could have been an Arsenal player at one point had we bid something more sensible than 40 million and £1 for him. I couldn't spell his name quick enough. Ross is pissed. I am the only one saying Luis Suarez. You are, but you only need a surname, Seb. You only need a surname. It was indeed Chewy Suarez. Imagine we'd signed Suarez and Xabi Alonso. Damn, yeah, that would have been crazy. I saw a thing today. I saw a thread on Twitter saying, like, if we had signed Suarez, would other players have stayed? And, like, could we have rebuilt around Suarez at that time? Always the non-gooner. Yeah. I mean, it's better than getting none of them. Worst times in AFTV as an Arsenal fan in 2013. Yeah, they were tough. I'm not watching. I have been watching the cricket for most of the day. Yeah, I'm not watching it now. What is the cricket score? Well, I can't be bothered to search it. Let me know what's happening in the cricket. Thought it was Almunia. Manuel Almunia, what a player. So my starting 11 prediction for today. This is my starting 11 prediction for today. Ramsdale in goal. Ben White at centre-back. Saliba, Gabriel, Kivior. I think we're going to see that same back five that started the other day. I then think we're going to see Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, maybe Martin Odegaard if he's fit again. Obviously, he did have that slight injury. Saka, Jesus, Martinelli. I think we're going strong. I think we're going very, very strong. 273 for 7. Oh, yes. Yes. Who were the I left it at when they were 5 wickets down. Who were the 6th and 7th wickets? Let me know. Is it 1:30 in the morning? Yeah, so 1:30 a.m. UK time. Carey and Stark. Nice. Yeah, 1:30 a.m. UK time is when the game kicks off. It's on Apple TV. The only place you can watch it is on Apple TV. There is a way that you can get a free 7-day trial of Apple TV if you don't already have it, so you can watch the game for free. That's your information for the game. Are you going to be live for the game? Yeah, I think I'm going to be live for the game. Green and Marsh gone. Nice. What would be your transfers 11 so far? In the whole of the Premier League? Or in the whole of the Premier League? That's a good shout. Do you know what? Actually, I'm not going to do that now, Ross, because that is going to be a TikTok. You've inspired me to make a TikTok. Probably tomorrow. So I'm not going to tell you that now. World Cup or Ashes? Choose one. Oh, World Cup, 1,000,000%. World Cup, 1,000,000%. I'm going on vacation. I will not stand up. Good. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Anyway, that is going to be the end of the stream. If you've enjoyed the stream, please drop a like on it. Subscribe if you're not already. 3 vids in 24 hours. Rory on the grind. I know. If you just want to watch a catch-up of the main news around Kudus and Partey, I did put out a video earlier that's like a 10-minute video, which is far more sort of quick and informative. But other than that, I hope you all have a fantastic evening. You may or may not, but probably will see me at 1:30 in the morning tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully we get up and we see a good game. But like I said, other than that, have a good evening. And I will catch you either later on tonight or tomorrow. Goodbye.